Is it possible that a reunion full of happiness actually turned into a moment full of question marks? What really happened behind this special gathering of BTS members who had just come back together, until it eventually created a huge shocking when Kim Taehyung, or better known as V, suddenly left the event without a single word? This question is now shaking the hearts of ARMY all around the world, especially when cameras captured Jungkook's facial expression that looked shocked, as if he could not believe what he had just witnessed. Why did Taehyung take such a drastic step in the middle of an atmosphere that should have been filled with warmth and togetherness? And what does all this mean for the future of BTS, which has always been in the spotlight? This incident began during the long-awaited BTS reunion moment. After so long of the members focusing on their respective military duties and individual activities, they were finally brought together again in a special event that was not only the focus of the Korean media, but also of international coverage. Media cameras highlighted every detail, every expression, and every interaction that occurred among the members. ARMY, who attended directly or watched through digital broadcast, also felt the mix of emotions, between touching and happiness, seeing their idols on one stage again. However, that joy seemed disturbed when Taehyung suddenly stood up, leaving the event location without giving any explanation. The incident happened quickly, but it was enough to make everyone fall silent for a moment. Jungkook, who was standing not far from Taehyung, looked extremely shocked. His expression, which was caught on camera, immediately went viral on social media. Many said Jungkook's face looked full of confusion, his eyes teary, as if there was something unspoken. ARMY around the world immediately poured their curiosity and concern onto social media platforms. The big question arose: was there internal conflict that the public had not known about? Or was this part of something much bigger and more serious than what appeared on the surface? Sources close to the Korean entertainment industry mentioned that Taehyung's sudden departure was not something planned in the official agenda. Even the event organizers looked confused facing the situation. No official statement was immediately given by bighit or hybe, the company managing BTS. The silence of the agency only added to the speculation. Many media began to suspect there might be differences of opinion among members. Was Taehyung facing a heavy personal problem that made him have to leave the event in such a shocking way? What made the situation even more emotional was Jungkook's reaction, who seemed unable to hide his feelings. Several short videos uploaded by fans showed Jungkook looking like he wanted to follow Taehyung, but was held back by the situation. Some fans who paid close attention even believed there was a short conversation between them before Taehyung actually left, even though the voice could not be clearly heard. This only triggered more curiosity. Was that conversation related to the reason behind Taehyung's sudden departure? Or was it actually a sign that Jungkook already knew something that ARMY had yet to find out? From an emotional side, this incident reopened old wounds once experienced by BTS, where issues of separation, internal tension, and industry pressure always haunted their career journey. ARMY surely still remember how in previous years, BTS several times spoke about fatigue, public pressure, even feelings of wanting to stop. Taehyung himself once opened up about how hard it was to maintain balance between his personal life and his status as a member of a global group. Was this incident the peak of all the burdens he had been carrying all along? If that was true, then no wonder Jungkook was so shocked, because he is known to be very close to Taehyung and often the one who understood him the most. On the other hand, there was also speculation that Taehyung's action was not just a spontaneous move, but part of a message he wanted to deliver. Some Korean entertainment analysts argued that this BTS reunion moment should have been a symbol of unity and group strength, but Taehyung's departure instead gave a signal of disharmony. This raised even bigger questions. Could BTS still maintain their togetherness after all the storms they had faced? Did this reunion instead show the cracks they had tried to hide? Interestingly, after the incident, the official BTS and Taehyung's social media accounts did not immediately give clarification. There was only one post from Jungkook on his personal platform, containing a short but meaningful sentence: "Some things are harder to say than to explain." This sentence immediately sparked wild interpretations from ARMY and the media. Some took it as a code that Jungkook knew the reason behind Taehyung's departure, but could not say it openly. Others believed the sentence instead indicated feelings of disappointment, as well as Jungkook's confusion over his friend's decision. Taehyung's silence only increased curiosity. No posts, no official statements, as if he really wanted to step away from the public spotlight for a while. Some fans suspected he was under emotional pressure, while others believed there were other, more complex factors, perhaps related to management, or perhaps related to a personal conflict unknown to many. The fact that he left without warning made all the speculation run wilder. And in the middle of all that, Jungkook became the center of attention because of his expression that could not be hidden. International media also highlighted this incident. Some Western tabloids wrote that BTS, which had always been known as a symbol of unity and brotherhood, might now be facing their toughest test. Meanwhile, Korean media were more cautious, only writing the fact that Taehyung left the event without clear reasons. However, behind those reports, there was real concern. Was this a sign of a bigger breakup? Questions after questions continued to roll. Did Jungkook and Taehyung talk before the reunion? Was there something they had been holding inside all this time? Why did Jungkook look so shaken while other members tried to calm the situation? What really happened behind the scenes until a happy moment turned into a big question mark? After a series of speculations, gossip, and commotion surrounding the news about Jungkook being allegedly shocked after the BTS reunion because Taehyung left without warning, it has now become clearer that this news is not entirely true. When examined more deeply, many details were deliberately exaggerated and twisted, creating a dramatic impression that is actually far from reality. Facts that can be confirmed from various official sources show that the moment that has been widely discussed does not contain the kind of conflict suggested by some sensational media. First, regarding the issue of Jungkook, who is said to look shocked and emotional, camera footage did show his facial expression looking confused when Taehyung got up from his seat. But it turns out that the expression was not related to any conflict, but rather an ordinary moment that often happens in a staged situation full of spotlight. Many media analysts emphasize that in a live event situation, every movement of an artist can be interpreted differently when cut or taken from a certain angle. It is natural if Jungkook's expression looked surprised, because Taehyung's movement was sudden, but that does not mean there was a serious problem between them. Second, the claim that Taehyung left the reunion without any reason is also not entirely true. Information from internal staff stated that Taehyung only went out briefly for a sudden personal matter which had absolutely nothing to do with internal group conflict. In fact, not long after that moment, he returned to join the other members backstage, greeted the production team, and continued his activities as usual. This proves that the news about his departure, considered mysterious, was turned into a big issue by those who wanted to create drama only. Third, the speculation about Jungkook and Taehyung's relationship being strained also has no basis. On the contrary, their relationship remains very close as it has always been known by ARMY. They even still communicate intensely outside official agendas, whether through social media or personal interactions. This fact is proven by several recent posts on their personal accounts showing warmth and closeness of friendship. If there truly was a big problem, it would not be possible for them to show such closeness in public space. Fourth, the claim that hybe or bighit deliberately kept silent to cover up the problem has also been debunked. The agency did not feel the need to issue an official statement because in reality, there was no serious incident that needed clarification. The silence of the agency actually shows that the incident was not as big as portrayed by the media and was not worthy of becoming a global controversy. Oftentimes, big speculations are born from misunderstandings because the public is used to looking for dramatic gaps in every step of an artist as big as BTS. Furthermore, this issue shows how easily a small moment in the digital era can be twisted into a big rumor. Social media plays a major role in accelerating the spread of news, whether true or unverified. Short videos, cropped images, and provocative narratives often make audiences easily swayed emotionally without verifying the truth. In this case, ARMY, who love their members so deeply, are easily affected because their concern is always high towards their idols. But in the end, clarifications from direct witnesses and the production team prove that there was no split, no big drama, but merely a misunderstanding that was blown out of proportion by the media. The main conclusion from all of this coverage is clear. BTS remains solid. Jungkook and Taehyung are not in conflict, and the moment that went viral was not a sign of separation or feud. On the contrary, this incident serves as a reminder that global popularity like that of BTS also comes with great risks. Every movement will always be watched, every expression will be interpreted, and every action can turn into a global issue in just seconds. Therefore, it is important for the public to be wiser in consuming information, not to immediately believe clickbait headlines that are often deliberately created to attract attention. Interestingly, this incident actually emphasizes one thing: BTS remain a huge phenomenon capable of shaking the world with even the smallest thing. The fact that simply Taehyung leaving his seat could make international media talk proves how strong their influence is. But more than that, ARMY now know the truth that the news about Taehyung's mysterious departure was merely an exaggerated issue. There is nothing to worry about regarding the future of this group, because they are still on their path to return together once all military obligations are completed. Therefore, for ARMY and the wider public, the conclusion is clear. The news about Jungkook being shocked because Taehyung left without warning is only sensational news that does not match reality. BTS remains solid. Their relationship is fine, and what happened was merely a small moment twisted into drama. More importantly, this incident must serve as a lesson for fans to be more critical in filtering information, not to be easily consumed by rumors, and to continue to believe in the strong bond that BTS members have.